Give it just a sec here.
I don't know. Rock was talking about possibly VCing tonight too, but
I
so if
sent
he
him an
does,
invite, so if
oh,
he
okay,
shows up, yeah, he's welcome to jump on.
yeah, okay.
I'm gonna
I mean,
send out the bat signal to see if I can get
I
everybody
tagged
to
him
come in.
earlier, but he's probably asleep. I know he goes to bed like really early.
Yeah, just keep in mind, guys, we are streaming, so no personal info, all that fun jazz. You know how it goes.
Damn, dude, I was gonna dox the shit out of you.
You couldn't
I'm just
dox
gonna
me
have
if you tried, okay?
I'm gonna have a second person to fight. It's probably gonna be Comic Curator. Such Comic Curator shows up and says, "All right, we got their hands real quick."
Why did also like why did like the stream preview thing or whatever look like it had just a robot on it?
It had the robot from iRobot, bro. But I think
Yeah,
that
but
is
it
that
literally
his.
looks
Is that
like
the
it
robot
looks
that
like
he uses,
Yeah.
it
Lamau?
looks
That-
like
that
his
is.
avatar. His like robot.
I wonder if he's using the iRobot as his avatar. That's hilarious either way. But no, it's memes, bro. Because the jobber's been watching me in the fucking trenches, okay? Which is exactly why we're here in the first place. To everyone stepping into the stream, okay? Yo, I've been in the trenches ever since I released this Kyle versus Simone video, and it has been unhinged. I have been fighting people, AI, bad arguments, even worse arguments, bro. I have been dealing with it all, okay, guys?
Yeah, like-
So here today, I'm here to talk about it, and I got a few homies from the old Theromax Corps server. Specifically, guys who are a little bit higher end or who are Theromax Corps channel members. So consider doing something along those lines, subscribing, all that fun jazz if you're still hanging out. And of course, today I have Jobber Godot from his channel. Feel free to plug yourself, Jobber.
My name is Robert Goda, and I'm your lawyer today.
Now he's gonna try to be our lawyer today. I think I'll be the lawyering today. No, I'm just trolling over here. However, we also have an OG Theromax Corps member. We got Zeus or Exaltingly rolling around, man. Say what's up.
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
Yeah. Always good to have you guys on the channel because there were some things that we gotta discuss today, man. And I thought my how long was that video? Was it like 25 minutes? I don't even remember how long my video on that was, but I thought I gave a detailed enough response to people. Yo, I unfortunately was wrong. I thought I specified hard enough inside that video to explain like the most basic way as to why DC is just vastly superior and beyond everything in Gurren Lagann. I don't know if people just weren't watching the video whenever they decided to comment on it or something, but like, yeah, it's something was just wrong, okay, with the people that is commenting, and it blew my mind. So I said, you know what, we got to do a little bit more of an investigation. Maybe I got to do a live stream and walk some people through some shit. All right, and that's exactly why we're here today, okay? Because I figured, why not just see what if these are the comments I'm getting. Let's just see what's out there, okay? And anytime I want to see what the normal people think, the people who aren't like invested into power scaling or like actually reading comics, where do we go, boys? Well, as you see on the screen, we go to Reddit, okay? And today we get to see what the normies think on the old Death Battle Reddit. What do you think we're gonna see in here, boys? I'm curious. Yo, whether it's you guys or in the comments, if you're in the comments, let us know. What are we gonna find on this Reddit post? Which is give a argument, don't question the spelling here, for either character winning, Kyle or Simone. Okay? What are we finding in this one, boys?
Things that make us want to unalive ourselves.
Damn.
You gotta be careful for YouTube.
You do. MC Bad Robot Voice says Reddit, clearly a place for higher thinking, Lamau. Yeah, you are not wrong. The most higher level thinking I've ever seen comes from this and also another specific YouTuber who comes from Korra, so think about that. Let's see. What I expect to find down here is Lamau, big anime character, super cool drill one-shots. Or as a, yo, man. Yo, man, just asked Lumos explain the rise and fall of educated midgie. I'm assuming he means educated midget, right? Isn't that a guy? I think I've heard that name before.
Maybe. If you might want to scroll down so like people can see the comments. It's just like some of the ones you're reading, nobody can see.
Oh no, I haven't scrolled. I haven't looked or anything.
Okay.
I was just speculating before. I'm talking about YouTube chat right now.
Gotcha.
That's. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who Educated Midgie is, man. Sorry, bro. That's not a comic book character, so I probably don't keep up with them. Yo, but okay, let's see what we got. I expect a lot of really dumb arguments that don't make any coherent sense. I've become accustomed to those. I don't think a lot of Gurren Lagann fans understand verses outside of Gurren Lagann after seeing their comments, and so let's just see if it's worse elsewhere, boys. Okay, Matt says Kyle's stronger at the start and can potentially manipulate Simon's emotions with mastery of more of them. Oh my god, yo, the spelling in Reddit land is crazy. Simon, his power can grow over time to surpass Kyle and isn't limited to a battery. Kyle's not limited to a battery. And even if you think he is limited to a battery, he can just feel life and recharge his battery, like the battery in his ring. The White Lantern power battery isn't an actual battery for those who don't know. The White Lantern power battery that appeared during Brightest Day is actually just the White Lantern like entity of life. And it just took that form for a short period. Kyle doesn't formally have like a battery. He just feels life. Don't look at me, DC wrote that, okay? Like that's just how it goes. Lamau. So like
he's just feeling.
Yeah, like whenever he's pushing Relic through the Source Wall, he just feels life and recharges his ring whenever like the very concept of the emotional spectrum was being like wasted. It was like dying. So much so it was going to collapse the Source Wall if he didn't like refill those reservoirs. So like none of that makes any sense. Saying Simon's power can grow over time to surpass Kyle doesn't make any sense because everything that Simon can do is absorb 12 dimensions. Simone. The most he can do is transcend 12 dimensions. Or if you want to take like, a guidebook statement? 20 dimensions, okay? And then fire it at his opponent. When Kyle is tanked the Big Bang of all dimensions being formed simultaneously, which includes an infinite amount of them. So, like, that's not really gonna, like, woo! That's Green Lantern Kyle, too, by the way. This isn't even, like, White Lantern Kyle. So, like, that's kind of cute, but that's not really gonna get us far. So, yeah, it just triggers me. It's like we're trying to equalize stats and everything, and they believe, like, well, if we equalize stats and Simon absorbs creation, then Kyle can't draw on the emotions of creation, which is, like, true. The problem is, like, no matter how much Simon can absorb, like, the creation from which Kyle can draw on is so much more vast and large. Like, it's just such a bad argument. Like, if you actually take cosmology into account for anything other than just, like, personal feelings arguments. Yo, and it's dude, what is these no limits fallacies comments, bro? I'm going crazy. Yo, I think Simon wouldn't get affected by mental attacks after what he overcome. It was the most complex mental attack I ever saw in fiction. And it was before he evolved to TTGL and STTGL. Okay, so like, have you only watched Gurren Lagann in terms of fiction? Like, have you never seen, like, mental attacks in, like, really big verses before? I mean, I know there's not too many of them out there, but have you, like, never, like, read a DC comic? Like, what is going on?
It's interesting because, like, the emotional attack that, like, well, I guess it's technically an emotional attack, but, like, essentially the anti-spiral just, like, he pulls, like, he pulls a GER and just sends, like, Simone and his like gang into like a infinite like loop or whatever the fuck, like just infinite multiverses of like, oh, like you did this or you're a loser here, you're a loser now, blah blah blah, and like Simone was like, yo, I'm not a loser, and he like kind of broke out of it and just like absorbed all the multiverse selves and broke out of the hacks or whatever and became like infinitely stronger or some shit. That's what it essentially is.
Yeah, Red Hood points out something really interesting too. Emotional hacks aren't necessarily mental hacks. Like they're related but not the same thing, which is something really important to point out. Um, N, who's a Theromax Corps member, because he's an OG dude, says, I feels time. Time, huh? Thanks for the tip, Lamau. I really hope they avoid doing something stupid like that inside this battle. Otherwise, like, people already hate DC in Death Battle because, like, they win all the time because their verse is strong. Like, heaven forbid they be strong and win all the time because that's how, like, stats typically work in matchups, but, like, don't question it. You know, am I worried that they'll do a post-battle category of willpower and have Simon take it? That would be pretty stupid. I'm not gonna lie. If they had a post-battle, and somehow Simone took it over Kyle. Like, Simone absorbed a bunch of shit, but like Kyle literally proved more willful than the concept of will itself. There is no such feat inside Gurren Lagann. Okay, just.
So literally where his power comes from.
Yeah, he housed it for a long period of time, grew more powerful than it. I don't know what you want from me. You can't say that a guy who demonstrated great willpower and did some impressive things scales to a guy in willpower who overcame willpower itself via his willpower. Not to mention superior concepts that house willpower as an idea. Like the life entity.
I feel like that's the same thing as saying Superman is greater will when he's done impressive will things, but I mean, what did he charge those rings? Like the 4 Green Lanterns, 20% that one time, which is crazy for a non-lantern, but
it's like a clear demonstration of extreme wills. You have to have something that, especially with conceptual willpower, before you start making comparisons of willpowers between these characters. Even if you just wanted to go thematically, he has great willpower. Thematically, Kyle has better than the concept of willpower. So how do you draw a comparison between those two characters? We're night and day. It's almost like Superman and Goku. Superman is literally the ultimate hero everyone achieves to, and Goku is the ultimate hero who achieves, if that makes sense. One will just be infinitely beyond the other, just the way you look at it. Let's see what else is going on here. Yo, Simon could shrug off emotional mental manipulation. Okay, that's true, but I see this a lot, and this is why I hate this shit with people with death battle brains. They all want to equalize stats on everything so hard. I feel like they look at things like these characters and they say, okay, one person demonstrated energy projection, the other person demonstrated energy projection, they're on the same level. But if you know anything about the two verses, you look at it and you're like, well, wait a minute, this guy's energy projection blew up a universe. This guy's energy projection is like melting steel. They both have energy projection, but the scale at which they have energy projection is so different. How are we trying to draw a parallel between those two when one's clearly way more powerful?
I gotta look at one thing to that. When it comes to people when equalizing speed, this is something I've noticed, and it's the reason why I put a poll up. I was just generally curious if I don't know, the irrelevant speed was kind of rewritten out of reality. I'm like, well, wait a minute, I see what people placing Simone and Kyle basically at even speed. They're even, both immeasurable. I'm like, wait a minute, well, Lumos, isn't Kyle irrelevant speed? With the White Lantern stuff?
I mean, he can move through, even normal Green Lanterns can move through time and stuff like that. None of that's crazy at all.
Yeah, I was just asking if he's irrelevant speeds or something. What would you put his speeds at? For White Lantern.
Well, I mean, he's demonstrated a little bit of everything. He's demonstrated the ability to move across, even as a Green Lantern, the ability to move through time, to move in and out of time and space, even going to realms like the Bleed, in the 2000, I think, 5 era stuff. So clearly he can move through time, from time into realms beyond time and navigate those realms as well, like he did whenever he had no ring and no powers, but could still move across like God Sphere realms and just like navigate them. So like
So,
he can move in all different kinds of realms and has all like your different types of speeds as a result.
I'm gonna bring this up just so I can already get ahead of some people that might do it. But would you consider that a hacks, like moving through time and stuff, or did he do it with like actual speed? Is the question.
I think that the ring allows you to do both. Like you can physically vibrate yourself into other universes via like a Green Lantern ring, but like he's also demonstrated the ability to just travel it too, like just through speed alone. And not to mention that's also reinforced by the fact that he can keep up with flashes and things along those lines.
Yeah, I just figured I'd get ahead of some people that were gonna ask that.
Yeah. But like I just back to my point, bro, like I'm still on that scale thing. Like the scale is so different between Gurren Lagann and DC that like let's say, hey yo, your character can your character has immeasurable speeds, right? Can travel through time. That's cool. My character's shown the ability to travel through all of time, leave time, and travel in realms beyond time. So like it's cool that you made it to the edge of time and space inside your small verse, but that doesn't mean you're equatable to like time and space inside of DC, which has infinite dimensions stacking upwards. And realms beyond them. Like it's so unhinged, bro. And whenever it comes to speeds and stuff like that, if you demonstrate a higher tier of speed, in my opinion, like I'm gonna call that it should just be like auto blitz one shot GG. Like especially if you're at like an entire league above your opponent. At best, you have characters like Gurren Lagann moving around. Let's just take like the outer argument for them. They move around like an outer they move around with inaccessible speeds in like a realm that's outer, right? Like okay, Kyle has been to superior realms. Like I don't know, beyond the source wall, which is like several layers removed from anything to do with like being garbage tier inside the God Sphere. If I grant that's where Outer's at.
Did you ever answer the the Gilgamesh versus
Oh, he says yeah, Gilgamesh versus Black Adam. Okay. I wish I had more of an answer for you whenever it comes to Fate, but I don't really watch Fate, man. I've heard a lot of really impressive stuff. I've heard they got some high outer stuff over there. So, that's kind of crazy. Black Adam, if you grant his movie amp stuff, it's pretty wild. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, he is unhinged. He's like tagging and banging up like Pariah, the same guy who could delete the rest of the league pretty casually. And he's still keeping up with like pretty high tiers inside like the Titans and the Justice League in the modern day. So like he's pretty terrifying in like the current lineup of things. But yeah, in terms of the Gilgamesh, I don't know.
I'm about to send some more stuff to you, Lumos, to look at.
I'm still getting cancer from this one though, man. Hold on. No, I'm just kidding. Feel free to send it. Yo, man says.
One Zeus is gonna remember immediately recognize. He'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he showed up in this."
Man's got one more for us, boys. He says Kyle Rayner versus Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Okay, I have seen nothing that demonstrates Kingdom Hearts is anywhere near, even at its highest end interpretations, anywhere near DC, like at all. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to say big no-nos on that one, man. Unless you want to consider like the Marvel continuity inside of that, like the 616 like Marvel continuity. That'd be like the only way you can do it.
I think the highest I've ever seen like Kingdom Hearts is like 60 or something.
Yeah, if it's only 6D, bro, Gurren Lagann is taking him out. All right, just like being real. Like, look, you can say what you want, but I'm not hating on Gurren Lagann that much. They could fucking blow up a 6D universe or a 6D creation pretty easily. Yo.
Yeah, this is the beat.
Let's see here.
I'll send you this meme. One meme into the next, just randomly. Okay, let's see. There it is. It's the...
Because spiral power isn't a force that comes from DC, it comes from Gurren Lagann. Therefore, it has the properties of Gurren Lagann force. Yeah,
What?
that's true. This wasn't a good rebuttal. When you put two characters together for a fight, you have to normalize the dimensionality to some extent. What the fuck is this dude responding to? This guy he's talking to is crazy. Why in a million years would you make the dimensionality similar? You just combine their cosmologies. If one is 10,000% larger than the other, you don't stretch Gurren Lagann to match that. That doesn't make any sense. Yo, these people...
Plus Darkseid imagined it.
don't you start over there with Darkseid imagining shit, okay? Not after the fucking dipshit arc that we went through last time, all right? Perpetua was dreamed up by Darkseid, trust me. Oh, my bad, not dreamed. We're being insensitive. It was imagined, okay? Or believed. Believed was the correct term, okay?
She's just gonna believe Gurren Lagann stronger. So.
True.
Yeah. I sent them more stuff in the thing, in general. It should be all the Reddit stuff. No. Yeah, it should be all the Reddit stuff.
Yo, some of these dudes, you know what? I'm surprised. There's some people actually spitting some facts in these comments. He's like, bro, DC cosmology is fucking unhinged. Like, easy GG one-shots. Okay, we'll check out the next one, boys. We'll check out the next one. I'm gonna check comments real quick and see where fucking people are at, cause these comments are crazy, dude. What is this? I should check out the latest sneak peek of Simon vs. Kyle. Yo, to be fair, I actually haven't watched any of that yet, just cause I'm going into it completely fresh, boys. The problem with truly accurate death battles is a lot of them will be over too quick and to be called a battle. True. And to be fair, like, they're doing what they can to like grab views, and like I can respect that. Like, they got to keep the videos long so they can keep up the views. That's pretty fair. Jobber trying to break Lumos' sanity with dumber and dumber Reddit posts. Yo, challenge accepted.
It's gonna be good.
Okay, let's get the next torture fest on with now that I didn't even make it through too many of those comments over here. Yo, the duality of DC versus Gurren Lagann. Kyle's most likely stronger, but the matchup can still come down to hacks. Lamal. Yo. This meme is pretty funny.
It's like, because when it comes to hacks, I'm like, listen, the time missiles are good, but like, what's that compared to like, well, conceptual life hacks? I don't like, that's like, I don't know.
Like, that's cool and all, but guess what? All of life throughout all of existence still is there. Okay, so unless you kill all life throughout all of existence, life's still gonna be there. And the tragic part is you can't kill all life in existence, because guess what? There's more life than in 12/20 dimensions. Damn, like, ain't that a bitch? Jesus, Lamau. Beware the anti-hull monitor. Seriously.
Sorry, bro. I keep muting because this Dallas Stars hockey game is intense, and I'm trying to keep it out of the stream.
So this hockey game's getting unhinged.
Yeah.
Yo, these comments are pretty god tier. And I completely misread this comment at first, and I'm glad I did not read it out loud. Yo, let's see here. Okay, this one's pretty meme. These people are all pretty civil too. These people are just in it for the memes. I can respect it. You know what? This post gets the Lumos Theromax A+, boys. These people all seem like they're reasonable and not entirely insane. Big W.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yo, this is a question for Jobber, actually.
What's up?
Which characters or verses, in your opinion, put up the best fight or even surpass? Oh wait, never mind. I thought it was going to be the other way around. I take it all back. Or even surpass some DC Heralds. Yo, Marvel. Obviously, I think Marvel and DC go pretty back and forth, in my opinion. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy like into Marvel the same way I am DC anymore. But like I never really power scaled out Marvel, so I'm just not at. I know a lot of knowledge, but I'm not like power scaling skilled in terms of Marvel enough to like really give solid arguments for that. But I'm connected in enough circles with enough people I trust for their information and knowledge in that department. And it's seeming like in the modern day, dude, there's some real banger matchups between like Marvel and DC. I thought he was gonna ask for Gurren Lagann. You got anybody for Gurren Lagann to fight? Where you think it'd be like an actual banger fight, or is it just a wash?
Like a banger fight? I mean,
Yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
for anyone in Gurren Lagann, like, surprisingly, this is probably like, it's probably a big surprise. Like, you know what? I guess apparently, I don't know, Ben 10 has gotten his buffs. I'm like, I guess it'd be kind of cool. So, like, go head to head. But if you want like some more, I guess, a thematic. If you want a thematic, quote unquote, thematic fight or something, I've seen
don't
people
bring in the Alien X tards, please.
like,
Yo.
they're just like, I think I've seen like, I forgot, some guy from Gurren Lagann versus Johnny Storm from like Marvel or something like that. So I don't know.
If you say Ben 10's name 3 times, he'll show up. Like all the fans will show up.
He's like Beetlejuice. Like,
Yeah.
not even Ben 10. Just say Alien X like 3 times. Just Alien X, Alien X, Alien X.
Something I think would be really cool or really interesting to dig into would be like, yo, could Simone survive the Forerunners detonating the Halo rings?
Wait, could Simone survive the Forest detonating the Halo rings?
Yeah.
To be honest, he gets folded by Aatrox.
Aatrox? Hey, I'm just saying, like, if you take the high-end interpretations for the Halo shit and you give them, like, the 11 to 12D stuff with, like, their hyperspace, slip space memes, yo, that could actually be curious because they do, like, 11 to 12D stuff. That would be really interesting in my opinion.
I'm just saying, like, Aatrox survived a point-blank explosion from Cortana. Just saying.
Crazy.
Yeah, this man's an Aatrox wanker till the end of time, bro. It's never gonna stop with this guy. I knew it.
This is insane.
I mean, that's the best Halo character of all time. So yeah, you're right.
Wow.
Chill, yo.
No.
Chief's right over there. Okay, Chief's right over there. He got blindsided. He shouldn't have had popcorn before they fought. There was a lot of things going on. His lady just left him. He had a bad day. All right, Chief was just out of his game.
Chief would have died a long time ago if he didn't have Cortana. Let's stop.
Oh my
The
god.
only reason that man is alive is because of Cortana's bitch ass. Okay.
Hey, she chose him for his luck, buddy. He's just so lucky.
Yeah, his luck. That's what it was.
Yeah, this is luck. His luck. See, his luck picked him up Cortana. It works out. Trust.
Yeah, his luck for sure.
Let me say something in general. I think this is what like. Zeus, I think this is your exact expression right now. I'm saying this in general. This is your exact. Here you go. This is you right as this. Here you go.
Okay, I gotta get back to reading this garbage Simon versus Kyle shit, dude. I swear to God, I keep getting distracted.
Here goes this. Oh shit.
Okay.
Boom.
Yo, what the literal fuck? Simon, final scaling. 18 to 19 layers via 20D cosmology statement. Okay, so we're just saying each layer is an outerversal transcendence?
Kind of crazy.
Okay, we grant that the... Yo, bleed is... Holy shit. Yo, we got high outer bleed. This is crazy. Using this logic.
I like how he's trying to make like Gurren Lagann stronger, but he's inadvertently making DC stronger.
Well, like that's if you use this logic, then like okay, like 2 can play that game. The only difference is like you can actually do the reality over fiction transcendences like inside of DC an infinite amount of times.
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah,
Lamal. Like
like any way you look at it, I mean DC is just stronger, but I think it's funny that like they're trying to make him like stronger, but at this point Kyle would just be like stronger than him
no
at
matter
the
how
same
you
time.
can wank it, yeah, like
Yeah.
Kyle has really easy arguments that I don't have to rely on this shit for to like actually get me there. If we want to do this silly shit, then like, yo, infinite dimensions, buddy. That's infinite amount of outerversal transcendences before you leave to bleed. So,
Damn.
but something that
Remember,
really
did you ever send that thing? Oh, my bad. What were you saying, Lumos? Something what?
something that just really triggers me is like this the baseline argument for these characters inside of DC, and like why is it so fair to use these arguments only for like Gurren Lagann?
Because they know he's not as strong.
Well, no, like that's what like triggers me is like if you're not as strong and you want to use that argument, that's fair. But then like, why aren't people recognizing these same arguments for DC?
Because it's a bias. They want him to win, so they're gonna recognize it for one and not the other.
But it's like it's such a stupid like.
It's a character.
There's a lot of bias that can happen, and I understand how like bias infects people, like 10 out of 10. What I don't understand is how you could fall prey to such like a comedically easy like bias. Like where one question, your whole premise is built on, you're like an upside down pyramid balancing itself on the tip, okay? Your whole premise like sits on this flimsy ass piece at the end. And anybody can just walk over and shove your argument over because it's so easy to topple. It's like, has no one just been like, yeah, but like, what if you do that for the other side?
No.
Like, has nobody
Probably
told
most
these people that? Like,
Probably most of these people in this Reddit that'll respond are in the same ballpark of like Gurren Lagann fans.
like, imagine these people hyping up hyperversal to outerversal shit. And thinking like, oh my god, this is crazy. And it's like, bro, it's been this way in DC since like 1950 something.
Unless you read Versus Battle Wiki.
Yeah, but if you can read versus Battle Wiki, you're probably doing better than half the people who edit it. So, but like,
That's true. I just had to hit him with a slight, you know.
Damn.
It's weird to me, man. I don't get how people are so quick to run to the most extreme hyper potential arguments for one side and then just hyper skepticize as hard as you want on the other side. It drives me absolutely insane, dude. And the best way they can do this shit is by referencing scientific theories we have in the real world. But, for some reason, in my video, all these same Gurren Lagann fans will say, whenever I quote and utilize, like, scientific theories from the real world inside DC, that's just scientific theory. It doesn't count.
Bro,
Like, what?
Did you see that? Did you see that comment? This guy said apparently Death Battle is putting base Green Lantern Kyle Rayner at 12.3D. What the hell's 12.3D?
So I haven't seen the video, but I have heard the meme. I think it's even in their thumbnail about 12.3 dimensions. I don't know what statement they have for 12.3 dimensions, but
How do you even get
I'm gonna tell you right now. I know why they did this. Okay, they did this specifically so they could hype up it being close. That is fucking all.
Yeah,
okay, there's no reason why you would stop at 12.3 dimensions, bro. Because like, guess what? We have fucking M-Brain and Super String Theory. All right. So like that already slaps us up there to that point in time. That's just below, like that's below the bleed. So you still have more dimensions past that even. Like I don't know. I don't get it, bro. How is it so dishonest? Like it just kills me.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can get a 0.3 of a dimension though. Like, what does it just stop at like a third of the size or something? Like,
there's enough pocket dimensions. Fuck it, we'll just give him an extra 0.3.
that's like the flat Earth version of a dimension.
Facts, yo.
Like, you get 0.3 of a dimension. It's like the flat Earth version. What the fuck?
Oh my god, those are all the guys who believe Darkseid believed Perpetua into existence. That's the 0.3 dimension people. They just couldn't quite make it to an actual dimension because they're living in their own.
It just hard
crazy
fell
lore
off.
drop.
They went through the 0.3 part and then just got erased from existence.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird.
Uh,
I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. But okay, moving on to the next one. I've had enough of this one. It was mainly just people hyper super mega wanking Kyle.
Robert, whatever chat you put that meme in, I don't have it.
Has Phantom Stranger shown any narrative level scaling? Most of the gods and stuff. Most of the gods and stuff inside of DC, like, all have like narrative transcendences. Like Earth 33 is where all comics are created, and gods exist beyond like the concept of Earth 33. So, like, yeah, all of your big boys are gonna have shit on that level. I mean, Dr. Fate can fucking grant you the ability to understand that you're in a comic book. Like, think about that. And he's just one dude who roams like planes like that and fights dudes like on that tier. Another classic question as always, man. Yeah, let's see here. What if the death battle ends like this?
Yo, Zeus, did you see that? Look, Zeus, look at that. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing that?
Am I not getting? Am I not getting the name here?
So basically, this is like, so remember with the second.
It's like the Darkseid dream argument, but Simon's dreaming that Kyle wins.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so basically, the out-of-versal arguments for like, you know, the second one is like the reality or fiction one where he's like the writer of like, I don't know, Gurren Lagann story or whatever. So basically, in this meme, Kyle wins the fight against Simon, but then like Cosmic Superman shows up. It's like, yo, Simo, should we tell him like what's going on here? And like Kyle's like, yo, why Cosmic Super, why are you here, bro? What the hell are you doing? And Simo's like, nah, don't tell him. He just as he's chilling, I'm like, there. Damn.
So hold on.
I think that's just a funny meme.
I gotta get this straight, because this is the best way to tell me you haven't actually read DC or understand it inside of a meme. So much so, it's making fun of itself. And I think the people who are liking and subscribing don't fucking realize like how hilariously funny it is in terms of irony. Because Kyle here, in order to have victory here, they're implying that he had to go back into like the source, and the source is out in the overvoid, even if you look at the map of the multiverse. And this is where like Cosmic Armor Superman would be, right? Outside of the multiverse. Like, at least the way a lot of people try to present it. That he's out on the page, right? He is literal narrative transcendence to everything inside, like, DC. We're seeing that here. So, the writer here says, he fought great, I don't want to ruin it. But Kyle narratively transcended the idea of the battle with Cosmic Armor Superman and is chilling in the real world. Oh, thank you, Adblock. So, like, unironically, this is, like, Kyle actually winning, right?
I mean, yeah, like the thing is Kyle wins, but that's just like, just have Simone, the writer Simone, be like, yeah, he won against I guess me, my lower self. Yeah, he won. All right, battle over. Kyle wins. So it's kind of fun.
Okay. I thought the implication was like,
No, Simo. Yes,
he
sorry,
like
Kyle wins.
Like Kyle won, and it was just like, oh yeah, he won, but really he died. And like the author was like, yeah, the other guy fought great, like GG one shot. I was about to say, bro, this is like this is like literally transcended the battle. Like, what the fuck is this? This isn't a meme on DC, bro. This is like unhinged behavior.
Yeah, I think that was funny. Also, just kind of want to see Zeus's reaction to seeing Cosmic Armor Superman. They're like, yo, Simo, should we like tell him?
Hot take, Cosmic Armor Superman's trash.
Dang, that is a hot take.
Well, I mean, Kyle was literally in planes that Cosmic Armor Superman looked into, and he thought if you stepped out in there, the very idea, the very concept of you was deleted. And Kyle survived out there and moved around and shit, so like it's not unbelievable that Kyle would be like rolling around in those planes. Let alone Cosmic Armor Superman never altered the source either, so that's big rips. Big GG's. Yeah, okay. Big memes. Alright. Oh, is this a video? Will I be able to play this video? Or I guess it's just gonna play. Never mind.
It's just a meme. It's just a meme.
Oh no. Hey, fridge this girl. Oh no. White Lantern, Power Raider, fridge the man's girl. That's fucking Rip Town, boys. That's fucking Rip. Yo, he fridged her.
Oh god, yeah.
Damn. No. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. Somebody knew some lore on that one.
The way they drew Kyle's face is hilarious.
Yeah, that meme face was pretty ridiculous. Okay. And this is also another thing that people do whenever they're trying to equalize shit. They're like, what are their two most powerful hacks? Okay, they're equivalent. Like, people just look at life equation as equivalent to spiral power, when spiral power doesn't even have the qualifications to meet willpower inside of DC.
Like, damn. I think so. I think I've seen some people just say that, like, spiral power is just, like, said to be, like, a concept in series. I have not seen that. I don't think anyone's presented, like, a guidebook statement or anything. People are just saying, oh, it's just, like, a concept. I'm like, wait, what? Like, I mean, you're saying it's a universal concept? I mean, I don't think it is. Like, it's a concept, but not in, like, a conceptual, like, literal conceptual manner, right? Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's a concept for, like, the energy source, and we have to give it some name and some identity and some properties. But there's a difference between, like, a concept like, I don't know, like an energy source like that, and, like, the literal, like, willpower versus ion. Like, they're fundamentally similar, but not the same thing.
No.
They don't have like actual concepts inside of Gurren Lagann, or did I misread like the Gurren Lagann stuff? They don't have anything like that, do they?
It's not that I know of.
I haven't seen nothing on. I had seen nothing for like conceptual arguments outside of like concepts of time and space, as far as they are aware of. Like, those are the only things that I think I saw conceptual shit for.
You know what? Like, hold on. What are we doing? Guys, listen. You know what we should be doing right now? Here, we're going to solve this problem, okay? We're going to find out who actually wins, okay? Here, let me ask ChatGPT.
What are you doing?
I was like, yo, let me ask ChatGPT who wins. Okay,
oh,
clearly,
Jesus,
ChatGPT
bro.
is not
Don't
flawed.
get on these
it's not flawed.
Yeah, ChatGPT can't be wrong.
Yo, Lumos gonna take a second L to it like a robot.
Jesus, bro. Don't bring up the AI debates again. Do the AI debate.
That shit was hilarious.
This fucking Simone fan was in my comment section using ChatGPT to debate me. And I'm not gonna lie, ChatGPT might have beat out the last idiot I debated with his passive aggressiveness, dude. It was so unhinged. I was like, yeah, like too bad, like all of Gurren Lagann just doesn't scale to like DC, and if it doesn't think so, like it is what it is. Like ChatGPT can't be used for like really complex things yet. Although we're getting better with AI, and it took that shit personally, bro. It was like, oh, I'm not smart enough. Fuck you, then, buddy. It was like the funniest shit I've ever seen, dude. I'll have to find that comment. I'll have to find that comment section.
Subject, oh, was it? To Lumos Theromax from ChatGPT. Subject, you seem upset. Let's talk about it.
Dude, it was so unhinged. Do you have those chats? We should run through that shit. That was funny because it was also hitting some of the really dumbass, like, let's just make everything equatable arguments for Simon and Kyle.
Oh yeah, I have all those. I have the chats. Yeah, let me see.
Link me to that chat section. I'll just go from top to bottom.
What video is it on?
My fucking Kyle video, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, let's see. If I can link it, let me look. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, listening to Toshifumi Hinata's music is awesome. It's like fucking being in a movie. Alright, let's see here.
So you think it was on the cosmology one?
It's in the Kyle versus Simo for like almost did. I gotta find the comment. Can I actually share it? No, I can only report. But yeah, I can just put your video here so you go to it. But it's maybe if I hold
Link
on.
me.
The easy way to get to it. The easy way to get to it is okay.
Was it like a lot of replies?
Yeah, there is.
A lot of comments.
I had to delete. I'm not gonna lie. I probably deleted like 40 to 50 comments because like you tell someone like, okay, 20 does not equal infinity, and they start raging out on you like in the comment section, like, you think I can't count? And I'm like, well, you did say that Gurren Lagann's universe was stronger than DC, so I don't think you can. And they're like, wah!
Well, here you go. Okay, so I'm putting.
Oh yeah, I found it.
Yeah, just make sure the easy way to go to is just sort your comments. It goes by newest, and then just scroll down.
Imagine appealing to ChatGPT. That's so fucking funny.
This guy is, dude. He is taking that shit like for real. He's not even arguing. He's just like, yo, ChatGPT can handle you, and it's like, oh, what? What does that even mean, bro?
Like the event was so crazy. I posted that shit on Twitter. I was like, "Yo, like this is crazy as fuck." And everyone looked at it. I was like, "Yeah, this is kind of crazy." A fucking bot debate. Like,
Dude, and then he just played like the I have nobody to talk to about scaling card, so I have to use ChatGPT.
Yo, hold up.
Holy.
Yeah, hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. I got it pulled up now, boys.
Oh my god. Dude,
rather.
no way.
Yo,
Yeah, like-
I'll read this off in the most dramatic voice I possibly can, okay?
Alright, prepare ourselves.
Yo, ChatGPT does not agree with your video. ChatGPT to Lumos Theromax. Clarification on the Kyle Rayner versus Simone the Digger. A research-based response. Dear Lumos Theromax, I've had the opportunity to watch your analysis on the matchup between Kyle Rayner and Simone, and while I appreciate the effort you've put into presenting Kyle's feats and showcasing DC's complex cosmologies, I want to address a few points based not on emotion or bias, but on careful and extensive research. Keep in mind, this is ChatGPT, which is not careful or extensive research, just so we're on the same page. When I activate my deep research capabilities, which it is consistently struggling to answer basic questions properly.
It literally just went Super Saiyan on you.
I don't just skim through wikis or cherry pick moments. I process the entire published history of characters, their narrative functions, their cross-reference canons, and metaphysical mechanics of their respective universes. Okay, this last line is really important. We need to remember the metaphysical mechanics of their respective universes, okay? That's exactly what I did for this matchup. I analyzed Kyle Rayner's peak White Lantern, his command over the life equation, his traversal of the God Sphere and the Source Wall, his feats as the avatar of life and wielder of the entire emotional spectrum, his moments rewriting reality on a conceptual scale. Okay? All of those are without question impressive. He's an incredibly potent character with narrative significance in the DC multiverse. However, when that's contrasted against Simone, specifically Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann from Simone's consistently come out on head in 9 out of 10 encounters. Why? Because Simone doesn't just scale high. He operates in a fictional structure where growth itself is limitless.
Sounds like an oldest fallacy, but okay.
Spiral power is not a finite or measurable resource. Okay, nothing he's saying here means anything. To scale high, that means you have feats that put you there. So if Simon doesn't just scale high, which he doesn't, referencing it afterwards with limitless, well, guess what? Limitless power is defined in a variety of ways. Limitless to a 3D person could literally just be blowing up the universe, okay? Limitless in DC could be blowing up everything inside of the Overvoid. Like, bro, none of that matters. Spiral power is not finite or measurable resource. Well, guess what? I have statements of the emotional spectrum and each individual emotion inside of it being infinite in nature. So, like, woo! Like, I don't understand what the point of any of this is.
I was gonna say, on a side note, why does anime sometimes have some of the most stupid names for like a power up? Like,
yeah,
Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
It's a mouthful right there. It's not for me to remember sometimes like that.
I don't know. You know, maybe I'm hitting my boomer phase, but I'm like, why can't they just stick to Super Saiyan, man? Like, keep it simple, boys.
Like,
yeah. What if just like what if like Kyle just like punches Simone in the middle of him just giving out like his Gurren Lagann name? Like, it's Super Tekken Toppa. Oh, your name was long, man.
You interpreted... okay, continuing on here. You scaled Simone's universe to DC cosmology without a legitimate equivalence. This is an error in cross-verse comparative analysis. You interpreted spiral energy as just life force, ignoring its true conceptual scale in the series. Nowhere is it demonstrated as conceptual, but we're getting fact-based evidence from this chat GPT. Yo, God tier. Even though he said he literally can do so. Kyle can alter conceptual things above in this argument. You presented Kyle's reality-altering feats as easily deployable when in fact they require contextual analysis, emotional alignment, or plot-level events. No, Kyle did nothing in a plot-level event. Okay? Like, his feats were just, like, things he did in his own solo run. In his own solo run, that did have a tie-in to an event, which was Lights Out, but that's not even reality warping the source or anything, which only happened in his solo run. So, like, that's all just stupid and bad information. You dismissed Simone's anti-spiral conflict as not enough without addressing the scale and abstract nature of that battle, where probability, existence, and hope itself are eradicated and restored by Simon's will. Cool, he created a multiverse on the size of whatever it is you want to scale his multiverse out to, of which the highest you can is 20 dimensions. So, like, big rip there. Because that's where probability and existence and hope itself is eradicated, because they are not aware of any concepts or anything beyond that space. And even that wouldn't be enough to place it in the God sphere, which Kyle can travel to, so that's kind of tragic. Kyle was existing in the void beyond everything after Parallax Hal Jordan blew up all of existence. A feat that Darkseid wasn't even aware of because he couldn't detect what Parallax Hal Jordan was doing. As a result of his use of entropy, and existed in the white void beyond everything. So, like, if we want to play those games, Green Lantern Kyle has demonstrated better things than anything Simone's done at his strongest. Based on, oh my god, the abstract scale and nature of his battle. Like, well, guess what? Kyle's, like, passively tanking those things. Even superior as a Green Lantern. Like, it's so silly.
No, I come to think of it, like, without the without the out-of-versal arguments for Gurren Lagann, like, actually I just realized, dang, like, Simone would lose to, like, maybe actually probably be close, because I mean, you know, I'm putting Simone's, like, you know, growth into the count, but it either Simone would lose against, I guess, a 27D Alien X, or it'd just be close or some shit. Like, that one's like, oh, okay. Like,
I actually disagree, and this is something that's super unfun whenever it comes to scaling, especially within, like, things within dimensions, you have to be capable of proving your character can evolve. And I think if you want to argue like, hey, my character will transcend, I think transcending within a dimension is like growing more powerful. Like, hey, I went from planetary to solar system, okay, or like planetary to star level. Like those things are believable. I'd be willing to grant something like that, okay. But I think where people get lost is they think that people with no statements or reference points think that characters can jump like 6-dimensional tiers because they've demonstrated the ability to adapt to some dimensional tiering. I don't look at it that way. I think if you're going to jump an entire tier, you got to have really strong evidence for it. Like really strong evidence in demonstrations. And I don't think that that's something that's more something you analyze after it's done rather than speculate before it happens, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't grant, like, characters warping the entire multiverse because they could warp the God Sphere, even though it's just a few steps removed from one another. Like, that would be kind of crazy, in my opinion.
Okay.
Gosh, dude, this shit just got worse, bro. This guy in his fucking chat GPT just got dumber and dumber. Like, it was so impressive, man. Holy shit.
It's folding in on itself like origami.
It follows up.
JoJo's dead.
It follows up with, so don't assume you're going to one-up me just because I'm a dumb AI who doesn't know anything. Proceeds to state a bunch of shit that had nothing to do with anything. It's like somebody just plugged in a bunch of weeb internet arguments into an AI and said, come up with the best statement you can. Half of this shit isn't true or isn't relevant to, like, anything inside of DC. So, like, that's unfortunate. But yeah, hold on. I gotta get to the section Zeus got to.
Okay.
I guess we will see who wins. But yes, you're right. I'm using a tool that is questionable at best. But what do I gotta do, man? I have no one to talk to on scaling, and people around me aren't even interested in what my hobbies are. What the fuck? Why are you like? Why are you? You don't even believe this shit, bro. Is this Gurren Lagann fans, man? They're just like people like, fuck it. I ain't got no one to talk to about this. I'm gonna troll someone online. I literally copy and posted as my first
like
thing.
Argument.
A chat GPT response. Where is it? Where I typed in who wins, and I got a chat GPT argument verbatim just saying Kyle Rayner one-shots. So, like, you can get whatever you want out of these fucking AI, bro. Like, you just ask enough times and I'm sure you can get it. I got it on the first fucking try. Like, it's not even hard. Like, that's the triggering thing.
I think it's funny. He wrote you like a professional letter about why you're wrong.
It's a
And then whenever you
bro.
And then whenever you said no, basically he was like, "Well, what do I gotta do? I don't got friends to talk about this with."
It's just like
good argument.
That's not a W argument. Whatever this is isn't a W argument. Like, I'm trying to actually like engage with people and convince them. You're just like out here memeing, bro. It's unfun. You know, let's see here. John Constantine versus Sarah Pizzini from Witchblade Comics. Witchblade Comics go pretty hard. I don't think I've seen anything from Witchblade Comics that would put them up against like what John was doing back in like the fucking 80s. Constantine should like one tap. Especially if he's like pissed that day.
Big bad.
Big bad, big sad.
Sarah breaks his alcohol bottle. Dead.
Okay. Yo, and that's pretty much it for the weirdo Reddit posts of Destiny. Is that really all we have? I have to have dumber comments than what we saw in those Reddit threads. I have to have. Let me see if I can grind up some dumb shit. Ooh, here's a classic argument I've seen about 400,000 times. The source wall is nonetheless a wall, and Gurren Lagann drills through any wall. Got him. I see that a lot, actually. I see that shit a lot.
like half people say like kind of put like that's those sort of scenes like half people when they say that it's just like a meme, but they're half are like actually just serious about it. Like if they think like Seaman wins, I'm like damn. Well then,
It's like, bro, we're not even engaging right now. If I'm recalling correctly, Simone can take other forms of energy and convert them into spiral power and use them to make him stronger. Yo, that's something else. Just because he can manipulate some energy doesn't mean he can manipulate every energy. White Lantern energy is incredibly powerful, and nothing out of Gurren Lagann suggests they have technology that can absorb like White Lantern energies. Although it is possible to absorb them with technology, you have to demonstrate the ability to do so. So, big rip. Simone's probability manipulation goes really hard. Probability manipulation is cool, but probability manipulation does not override hacks that transcend all of your abilities, including that probability manipulation conceptually multiple times over. So that's just big fucking rip. Life transcends the concept of probabilities within DC's cosmology. Sucks to suck, but that's what it is. Another thing he needs to be worried about is Simon's absurd growth speed. Simon could get as big as he possibly wants and grow as much as he can, and he still wouldn't be able to demonstrate the ability to like harm Kyle Rayner's high-end durability. He could literally absorb every dimension that he is aware of and still wouldn't be capable of harming like Kyle. He wouldn't be able to like blow apart the source wall, the same one that Kyle passed through. So like big Rip Town. You know what? I'm gonna bring over. I asked the Theromax Corps today. Actually, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the Theromax Corps and we're gonna see what the most common meta is that people hear apparently.
Wait, actually, I just realized something. Wait, did we talk about? No, I don't think we did on stream actually. So one of the big things that people say is like Kyle, like White Lantern Kyle is not stronger, or doesn't even come close to like Oblivion or Anti-Minder. Yeah, what's y'all's thoughts on stream for that? Real quick before I go to that.
Say what?
The big argument.
Say what again?
Yeah, one of the big arguments like that we haven't gone on stream is like the arguments that White Lantern Kyle, like he is not like on the level of, or like he's not on the level or stronger than like Oblivion and Anti-Minder. That's what some things I've seen.
Like Dark Side War, right? And whoever wielded that, and whoever was like the god of anti-life, that was like a really important like storyline within that shit. Like Kyle and the Anti-Monitor are both like weaponizing some of the strongest like crisis and anti-crisis energies in all of creation between like the life and anti-life equations. Both of which have passed through the source wall, both of which did so under intense pressure and frustration. The Anti-Monitor lost his form as a result, and Kyle still managed to hold himself together and go further than that and then alter the source itself. Kyle not scaling, like, so he should outscale the Anti-Monitor in my eyes. Altering the source just is like beyond anything the Anti-Monitor has ever demonstrated. Like, we just don't have feats like that for him. Oblivion is simply the hole, the void of Kyle. It's like everything negative about him given in the form of nothingness. So like Kyle doesn't scale to Oblivion makes sense because Kyle couldn't kill Oblivion without himself ending. So Kyle had no way to kill Oblivion because Oblivion is Kyle. He tried to write him outside of existence with the powers of the source, and even the source itself could not do that unless he wanted to kill Kyle. And it didn't take. Like, he tried that, literally. Because he tried to use the source to write Oblivion out of existence, and the only way to write Oblivion out of existence was Kyle, and it just didn't let it happen. So, like, that's not an anti-feat, because Oblivion scales to Kyle. So saying you don't scale, you're not stronger than a guy who's as strong as you are, and then you have these other feats. Like, the other feats are important in reference to that, and the unique nature of their opponent also has something important to do with that. It's kind of like whenever Hal Jordan and everyone at the end of Wrath of the Third Army fought Volthoom. Volthoom was going against people who could kill him, like Necron and Black Lantern Hal Jordan, and the entire army of people that they had amassed against him. However, if they did kill him, they ended all life in existence, which is kind of a problem. They kind of wanted to avoid that. So, like, there was a reason why they didn't. And that's the exact same situation Kyle found himself in, because he doesn't know what he does to existence by dying with the life equation. You don't know what riding the White Lantern out of existence will do for reality. There's a lot of unknowns known with that. So, like, he's not going to endanger all of existence intentionally like that. So it just doesn't make sense to even argue on, in my opinion.
Okay.
For all those people sitting around wondering, like, you can look however much you want. The anti-monitor is like 10 steps underneath the source. No matter how you look at it, okay? The Kyle altered the source. Like, that is superior.
Okay. I'll think one more thing. So basically, real Reddit stuff. So let me look here. So you looked at the debate chart, like, pre and, like, post, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, because you're on the Reddit, you're on the debate chart, right? There's like another here. Oh, because it didn't show it to you here. Here, I'll put it right here. Yeah, like this one takes place right after that one. This is what it came to, as you can see. Put that for you. You're putting it in general.
What about this? What am I looking for?
Oh, I was just making sure you saw that too. Like, at least that's what the community thinks. The result, at least, looks like. Looks like community consensus, at least.
How long was, like, Simone, like, actively fighting?
How long was he actively fighting?
Yeah.
I think the reason why he took it. Wait, I think he took experience in there, right? Let me look here. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I know. That's why I'm asking. Yeah.
Oh, the reason why he took experience, at least they gave, I think, in the reasoning was in the first thing was.
Is this just a link, or yeah? Like, where's the reasoning at?
It's because of the multi-dimensional, like, labyrinth or whatever. Remember, he's put up in, like, he was put in those, like, literally infinite realities where he's like a loser or something like that. Like, I don't know. I think that's why people gave him the experience. Like, oh, like, he combined himself with infinite versions of himself, so he's infinitely more experienced, right, or something along those lines.
I guess they do separate that from combat and battle IQ. So yeah, I guess he's lived longer then, in an infinite amount of reality, so he'd have infinite experience doing everything and nothing. So
yeah, that's why he got that. It's the whole inferiority thing.
Like, he does have more experience. I don't know how valuable that is, but he does have more experience. I'll grant him that on that. I'll grant him that. I guess
fighting
I don't agree that he's. I can't grant any of this shit to him, really.
Because, like, even if, like, was granting him experience, I'm like, well, he's just, like, he's never fought an opponent quite like at Kyle before. That's kind of the problem, especially White Lantern. It's like, what? It's not really gonna matter. He's never fought.
Well, like, saying he's got better combat, I have no clue what that means exactly. But, like, even if you want to say he's more hacksy, no, because they even have a hacks category down there. What does combat mean?
Like, that's just hand to hand, like, or like skills essentially. He's like a better fighter. I guess.
I think Batman's training is better than any hand-to-hand combat training that Simone has. Is he like a legendary fighter or something?
No, I think that reason for why he got combat or slash skills is like literally just because multiversal infinite selves go bare. I'm like, well, I mean, have they demonstrated this ability like on Batman's here? Like this dude was trained by Batman.
And he landed attacks on Sinestro and Wonder Woman, both of which are incredibly skilled hand-to-hand martial artists. So like, don't know if I buy that. In terms of battle IQ or intelligence, he might be like smarter in terms of like raw intelligence. Yo, what? We got Chuck rolling in the chat? What the hell is this?
Yo, Chuck?
Yo, what's up, Chuck?
Yo,
how's it going,
Chuck.
buddy? But like, always good to see this man roll through. I'm sitting here and I'm just wondering. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, how do you grant him battle IQ or intelligence when anything a character from Gurren Lagann has done, his ring is going to be able to tell him what it is, how it works, and potentially even hack the technology. So like, even if he doesn't know, his ring's going to be able to give him all the answers, like almost instantaneously on whatever it is he needs. So like, even if you don't want to grant that as intelligence, it's just battle IQ. Just battle IQ is going to be fucking way better than anything the Gurren Lagann characters have. Also, we have Man roll up. He said, "Yo, Kyle was trained by Batman. He was trained in Batman in hand-to-hand combat, just as Batman trains most of the Justice Leaguers in hand-to-hand combat. Same with Wonder Woman." Yeah, go ahead, Zeus.
Hold on.
Zeus is loose.
Yo, rare to have a good old Chuck, a wild Chuck up here on stream, man.
I know. I didn't expect that at all. That was crazy. Like, yo, Chuck see what it does.
Always a big W, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the more I look at these, the more I just sit here and I'm like, none of this only works if you do. I can't even say that if you do equal stats, because like, the hacks are just stronger in every way. The powers are just better conceptually, literally conceptually in every way. Like, his range is greater conceptually in every way. His speed is better conceptually in every way. Like, we could do this all, like, in every one of these categories. Besides maybe intelligence. Like, I'll grant maybe that.
So, like, I'll keep in mind, like, because was it Lumos, he made his video on Kyle Rayner, and I made my video on, like, Simon, like, I think, 2 years ago, right? And, like, who do I think wins? I think Kyle wins. Like, I think it's pretty safe he takes the W. Like, it's kind of weird. There's a big debate, but like, at least for where do I have Simon at right now, right? I think like 12 to like 20D is fine, right? Like, yeah, 100% fine. But the outer stuff, like, I do not personally, I do not believe in the whole reality over fiction outer stuff. I don't like it at all. It feels like a super cheap like junk food way to get someone to outer. Like, but the reality over fiction, like. Reality over fiction, outerversal argument, yeah, they have so many characters to outerversal, it's insane. And the fact that that's like the main argument being used to get Simon to outer that people are just using just because they want, Simon to beat Kyle. And I'm like, well, why not just apply it? Please, if you're going to use the reality over fiction outerversal argument for Simon, apply that same logic to DC. And when you do, it's going to backfire on Simon so bad because they have like so many transitions, it make your head spin, right?
Yeah.
I think in the other outerversal argument for Simon, it's like low outer, right? Is just basically, he transcends space, time, and dimension in general, right? And I think that's probably like the most honest, outerversal argument out of the two, in my opinion. And I think that like low outer argument is a highball, okay? And that's where I have like Simon right now, right? Is like 12 to 20D, fine. Like highball, low outer, right? Reality or fiction's like, I don't know, dream conjured up by like Dark Side, Perpetua memes, I don't know. But, and also speed. When it comes to speed between the two, like, okay, if it's just like Green Lantern Kyle and like Simone, sure, equal speeds, both are measurable, right? But like White Lantern Kyle, that dude has a relevant speed. People have them equal speeds, so that's why I'm like wondering, what happened to the speed tiering system? Like, what do people like value? Is everyone just strictly on the versatile wiki stuff where it's just like infinite equals like inaccessible, immeasurable equals like irrelevant? I don't know.
That's the frustrating thing about like the current meta is like everyone uses their own tiering system, and the tiering systems that were like the main ones have changed so much that you're not even really sure what people use anymore. Like to use a term like low outer shows me that you've been in the community for a minute, because guess what? Low outer doesn't even exist anymore.
Yep.
So like, and the speed tiering for like versus battle wikis changed a lot. They don't even consider some tiers at all anymore. So like, a lot of that just comes down to whatever it is that you value. And I value moving through higher conceptual realms beyond anything that most characters with any speed feat from DC can perform. And although that is similar, the way it sounds to what Simone from Gurren Lagann had done, the difference is the versus ability. Like, it literally, infinite transcendence is greater than Simone if you want to take the fictional transcendence arguments. Like, it's just so stupid.
Yep.
I just think it's funny when people separate speed and like agility just to try to like do like a matchup thing. Like you're just trying to get an extra point, so you're separating the two. Like
yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird.
Or like indomitable human spirit. Like who cares? Like what does that matter?
What if like Simo gets a dominable human spirit only for Kyle just to win? that'd be something like, oh, all right. Guess it didn't matter. Life equation go burr. I still like Lumos's interesting hypothetical in the match where just like Kyle's like, yo, are you like alive? Simo's like, yeah. Well then, I guess this is a good end well for you, man.
I feel like the agility argument really only applies to like traditional street tiers. Like Batman, Nightwing, stuff like that. Once you get like higher than that, I don't think it really matters. Like why would Kyle need agility when he can literally just shield himself with like his abilities or something? Like
what's Kyle gonna do when Simone does a cosmological backflip over his head? Like, think about that agility, man. Think about it.
Yeah, obviously shielding himself completely would do nothing to that.
He'd be so confused. I think I've also seen that people say like, you know, like, what was it? Kyle will have a hard time even perceiving Simone. Like, I guess that's most powerful or something. Seen that flying around. I feel like this is pretty much the majority of the arguments for Simone taking the dub.
One second, I'm double checking on something here.
Okay.
I had to reread a comic in reference to something.
Mm-hmm.
Is somebody saying you can resist the life equation?
And yeah, the resistant life equation. Yeah, I think I've seen that in your community tab, right? You know, Bush post or second.
Yeah, somebody had mentioned it inside chat here, and I wanted to review that comic to make sure. But nothing here. I don't think it's implying that this chick resisted it. She just had the God Killer armor, and nothing implies he was using it against her. And then he just gives her the ring and says, "I can't force you to like unfuck the multiverse from what I've done to it, but like only you can decide that, only you." So that just sounds like a big ass misinterpretation. And besides, it doesn't really matter because Features Ends were a potential future that never could happen. All of them were. So, like, I don't know, it's a weird W. It's a weird W to try and argue that, I guess. Yeah, strange. Very strange, boys. Very strange.
Twilight Zone strange. I'm just waiting for Rod Sterling to just like kind of like walk up from behind Lumos and start narrating.
In an alternative timeline, Kyle went evil and couldn't control a random. He was throwing hacks to force all life to fit in with what he wanted, but nothing implied he was like using the life equation to be doing that, was it? Did I just miss that? He's just using his White Lantern hacks to do this shit. And this just goes on to show that if Kyle was given enough time, he would have become this dude, which is further proof that he could control the life equation given enough time. So yeah, just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy there.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, do you have the G1 blog somewhere? Everyone's asking about the G1 blog.
Like here, let me see if I can find it because like I think they've been reposting their blogs because basically the G1 blog site like went down, so they just made their own site. I wonder when the new one's supposed to drop on the matchup because I heard it's supposed to drop like
Saturday, apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle can disrupt Simon's power growth to spiral power by manipulating his emotions. Life equation go burr. How Kyle can win. Simon resisted the multi-dimensional labyrinth, which was an infinite multiverse of emotion manipulation.
Or Simone.
Or Simone. I swear to God, I read that just.
It's okay. I understand.
I'm so fucking
like,
American.
Simon
I
and
swear to
DC,
God.
that it makes sense. Like Simon Baz, right? Simone.
Yeah. But like resisted a multi-dimensional labyrinth, which was an infinite multiverse of emotional manipulation. Okay, that's cool, but those emotions are not on the scale of any of the emotional like attacks that Kyle will use. Or source hacks, like bro, like I once again like equatable, but not really. Like they're both, the general idea of them is similar, but it's not the same. Like it's just so wild to me.
What about the idea of like I think you brought up like basically Kyle is very inexperienced with like his like using like his hacks or like White Lantern hacks that like it just won't matter.
Well, like the whole he never got to master the life equation. That's true, but Kyle still went on a ton of adventures wielding the life equation. Like, if anything, this becomes like if you grant him life equation in this, you have to grant him oblivion too. Which is like the scary thing, because once you get the life equation, that's when the whole manifests inside of like Kyle. So now you have two Kyles to fight.
Yeah.
Each one as strong as the other. And Kyle can't control those powers, that's true, but that's not a W for Simone. Like, that's not a W, because without skill, he was capable of stripping the lives of all the Guardians of the Universe, who have better scaling than anything in Gurren Lagann. Like, one attack from Necron will put them there. So, like, even that's not... even that's not a W. Holy shit.
Unfortunate.
And Kyle is not used, and it can be resisted if you have strong emotions. I am just not seeing that you can... I can't think of a time where this has happened.
Okay. Oh, found it. Okay, here we go. I'm putting this into the chat for you, Lumos. Yeah, I'll put this in like the stream chat so Zeus can see it. Zeus you can't see in the general. Yeah, I'll add you both to this. There you go.
Let's see what the old G1 predictions are like.
Old one, the new one, no. It's gonna come soon.
Blah 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 blah. His mask.
It's got the mask.
Okay, so they're clearly giving him pretty much everything inside of here. Yo, I like how Kyle's attacks are like 3 seconds long and there's like 4 billion fucking pages over here. Yo, let's not mention the fact he's trained by Batman, which is why he's so skilled. Been attacked by the greatest assassins in the universe. Dude, he willed the mind control effects of the anti-life equation out of his mind. Oh, this was an alternative future, I think, wasn't it? Damn, if they're gonna grant that, that's crazy, boys. Yeah, we have Kyle over the anti-life equation in base Green Lantern form. Just pointing that out. Okay, now we're getting into the hacks here.
Go fight the power. Touchable, break the unbreakable. Go, fight the power.
Okay, we're kind of cooking.
Simo's gonna be like, Kyle, let me see your crypto's teeth. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think I want to see that in that fight. Imagine Kyle's like, I don't know, for some reason, like out as White Lantern, like maybe in the middle of the fight, he's being like a loser. He's like, I don't know if I could beat him, and then Simo just like jumps out of his neck, punches Kyle in the face, like, let me see your crypto's teeth. What do you think you're doing? He motivates Kyle to beat him. That would be crazy. Like, yo, Kyle, come on, bro. That actually kind of be Chad. Wait a minute, hold on.
Kyle's
Kinda
ring
like
still
that.
functions under a charting protocol. Okay, if we don't give him his honor guard ring, this is true. Are significantly less powerful to lower. Wait, and are significantly less powerful the lower the ring charge is. This is not true. This is not true. Okay, yeah, that is just not true. The rings don't get less powerful the less charge you have in them. You just have less power to draw on. But like, depending on where your willpower is, you can take that last little 0.001% and do some pretty unhinged shit in it. Kind of like in Sinestro Corps War, whenever literally on 0.001%, Hal Jordan flies across the entire planet and tackles Parallax Kyle Rayner off of his family members and begins a fist fight with them. Almost, literally no energy whenever it comes to the rings. So that's just like big assumption. Kyle's a big fan of Gurren Lagann and other anime manga mechs. Yeah, that's true. He has made constructs of them before. Big shout out from a man over there.
Mm-hmm.
While as a White Lantern, Kyle has no exploitable weaknesses. Comparable in AP without dimensional tiering. If they're making that argument, this should be a fucking one tap. Yeah. Unfortunately, abstract existences just aren't inside Gurren Lagann. You read it here, boys. That's RIP. Cyber did this? Yo, I feel dirty reading it.
Let's see.
I'm actually surprised by that, considering the last time I had a conversation about Kyle Rayner, he said universal source walls. So, you know what? We got character development. Here, I'll grant it. Wait, did we actually get to the fucking conclusion?
Well, I think it's each person's conclusion that made the...
Oh, it's like each dude giving a conclusion, or is it like...
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god, yo, Jesus, bro, talk a lot. Okay, in conclusion, Kyle isn't having anywhere around this. Energy absorption, speed, and self-amplified stats are Kyle's best bet, but fall short against Simon's greater strength, comparable speed, sheer size and pressure, probability attacks that make it essentially hard for Kyle to kill Simone, let alone hit him. Thus, in a heaven-piercing fashion, Simone the Digger will spiral his way through the will of the White Lantern. Yo, never mind. I believe he actually used the source wall, fucking universal source wall theories in this conclusion. Bro, that's sad. They had a lot of shit going for them whenever it comes to the research, but clearly they have no ability to understand, like, cosmology and, I don't know, speed tiering. Like, you think that their AP is similar to one another, even though I didn't see anything demonstrated on here that equated their strength. I'll admit I was moving through it quickly, but like... Lamel. Dog. That's a curious take, is all I would say. Holy shit. I don't know, man. Yeah, this is kind of sad to see. I expected better. I don't understand why people are so hard on trying to equate these things. Like, by no stretch of the imagination should you ever come up that these characters' APs are similar to one another, no matter what meta you choose to take for either one.
Yeah, I guess I'll send, like, the... Oh, and this one's, like, 25! So, that's something you can read after this vlog, so, yeah, that's pretty much, I think, it vlog-wise for now.
Okay, yeah. Good. Rolling into it now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I've seen this one before. Is this the last one we ran through?
I
think this is the... I think we might have ran through this one before.
Not in stream, though.
Okay,
at least giving you guys' take on it. I've already done my Girl Lagann take, so...
Monitor sphere, fifth dimension, higher plane of existence, it's in the source wall. See, they have all this good scaling, and then they do this dumb shit where it's like, yo, Kyle should scale to the source itself, but one time Ganthet said, let's be careful approaching Larfleeze, to Hal Jordan, another Guardian of the Universe, Green Lantern. Oh, I think there was like one other Green Lantern with them too. And White Lantern Kyle was there. What? Like... If I say, children, don't get yourself ran over in the parking lot, that doesn't mean I'm talking to the adults in the room, okay? Like, it's just so stupid. The downplay after all these things is just so crazy to me.
It's something.
We don't really know where to put White Lantern Kyle Rayner without the life equation. Okay, he only had a run where he used it for quite some time, and then has like Green Lantern scaling, which would logically upscale. Even if you don't think it's like dimensional tiers or anything. Oh wait, we can literally clarify where it's at because he went through the source wall with no life equation, so we can literally go exactly where we want dimensionally, or to point where he went with that. But even if you don't want to scale that, just his Green Lantern shit's enough to at least throw him into the God Sphere. Like, there's no way you can't say that that's not true.
Crazy stuff.
Like, logically, if you put on a Green Lantern ring, let's just say he sucks with the or a White Lantern ring. Let's just say he sucks and he's only good as a Green Lantern, just as good as he was as a Green Lantern. That would still outscale everything in Gurren Lagann. Like, you don't have to even grant him additional bullshit, bro. It's so unhinged.
You have Lumos, you don't understand. Do you understand? Simon can infinitely grow, so
and
they're just gonna match him easy.
They're doing the reality over fiction transcendences in here too, and it's like, okay, cool, let's do that with Green Lantern. Oh wait, let's just not do that because Lamau comics are already strong, so let's not put any brains into it.
But like that's like I just haven't seen anyone just bring that up. Like why? Okay, why are we releasing real over fiction out arcs for like SEMA? Why not for DC? Like, because like I mean, I feel like the whole reality over fiction out like stuff really just crumbles apart when you just do that to like the flaw in is like, okay, well you got this character outer, let's do that to other character. But why won't you do it to the character? Because you want Simon to win. It's like, whoa.
It's almost like you're biased towards one side for some reason. Who would have thought?
You know, I personally, I don't think Death Battle would go with the reality over fiction stuff. I don't think they will do that. But, yeah, at least I know it. At least, in my opinion, I don't think they will do it. Reality fiction outer arguments for Simon. I don't think they will do it.
Oh, I mean, they've stated before that like they don't like talking higher dimensional stuff. But, like, it's unavoidable whenever it comes to, like, Gurren Lagann, right? Because, like, the big meme is, like, 1112D, so who knows?
Well, yeah, because I think that, like, because since they don't like talking about it, right? I mean, they'll probably, like, you know, kind of, like, quickly go, like, brush over it, like, just how they did with, like, 12D Kyle or something, like, oh, well, like, it doesn't matter because they both are above space-time in dimensions, like, of, like, their verse, right? So, like, I think that's probably what they will try to do. Like, oh, basically they'll have like essentially Simo, low outer probably, and they'll have like Kyle, like, well, like their DC's just bigger, right? So like while they're both above like space, time, dimension, like one's conceptually above it, and the other's just above it, right? Like there's a big difference between the two. Like he's conceptually like bigger than space, time, and dimension, while the other one's just bigger than space, time, dimension. Or something. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so I was asked to check out the Necron section here, and I'm reading through bits and pieces of it. And it says, though Necron needed to be... it says, White Lantern Sinestro is able to physically contend with Necron with ease, and a replenished anti-monitor from the White Lantern entity was able to counteract Necron's attack. Okay, so we have a White Lantern entity amped anti-monitor who was capable of landing an attack and is the only person who has seen damaging Necron. Okay? Sinestro did not physically contend with him at ease. Sinestro got cut in half. And even if you want to say that like he was brawling with him for a little while, that wasn't ease, okay? Because he loses the fight.
Yeah.
And it's self-admitted by... Or not self-admitted, but Ganthet says that Sinestro is a shitty host and he's corrupting the white entity because he only sees life through one perspective, which is fear. So, like, he was a shitty host. That's why Kyle would have been, like, superior.
How can you say Necron is without a doubt the most powerful lantern out there when literally Hal was better or stronger than him? He literally, like, summoned him and then sent him away.
Yeah, and he's not even a lantern. He's not even... We don't even know what the fuck he is. He's, like, even beyond an entity. Like, think about that, bro.
This man literally committed suicide and said, yo, I'm gonna be a Black Lantern. Willed a ring to him, summoned Necron, and then told him, okay, I'm done with you, and then literally sent him away. Like...
Yeah. So, like... None of that stopped Necron, which is important, because Kyle does better things down the way. Like... that Necron could do. Like, what the fuck? Okay, Necron...
And to be fair, like, in order for Necron to quote-unquote kill Vothum, Hal had to, like, take all the emotion out of him. So, I mean...
Okay, so they take this statement here, which is Necron cannot normally exist inside our world. This is a half truth, okay? Necron's power is little, especially in this era, because he's in his own universe, or he's in his own like dimension, and he can't affect things inside our reality. We're shit inside this storyline. But you can't use statements about Necron inside his realm and how his power is limited inside our realm during this era and apply them to the same Necron in the next era, whose entire purpose was to make it into our reality so his true form was here, no longer being limited. Like, that was the whole point of dragging him into our reality. So, like, his power is not diminished once he physically came here.
Also, if he's in his own dimension and like Black Hand is using his power, couldn't you argue that his power is able to affect things in our reality?
Yeah, it would just be
Isn't that what
limited.
Black
It would
Hand's
just
literally
be
using?
it would just be limited in scope, right? Like limited to like
Yeah,
one
yeah,
hero.
but-
Yeah, like that's clearly how you would read that if you like were trying to be genuine or like at least consider anything higher end outside of fuck you, but it is what it is. Necron was capable of killing Volthoom, who scaled above White Lantern Kyle Rayner. That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
after Volthoom got nerfed,
Festive. Okay, how are we scaling? How are we saying that he doesn't
But they don't-
scale to? Why are they saying Kyle doesn't scale to him? Like, what the fuck?
are they saying that Kyle Rayner doesn't scale to a human Volthoom?
No, well, they're saying Necron is the strongest, without a doubt, the most powerful one. But can
Yeah, but
Kyle
they-
be on par with his power? So,
No,
like,
but they say Necron was able to kill Volthoom, but they don't mention he was a human when he killed him.
well, I mean, it was Necron's power either way that drained him of all those energies and or killed him, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah.
So like Necron, regardless, has at least a hand, or it's his power being used for it either way. You could argue that Hal really is that guy, and he just like overpowered Necron, like he willed Death to be stronger than Death. That's possible just because of his history with like using emotions to overcome other things. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm confident enough in that. Okay, yeah. Okay. Isn't Kyle not the best at using the life equation? Why would he not scale to any of his best feats? This is true only at first. Kyle struggled to use the power most of the time, and while he had it, a lot of impressive feats, such as making source wall travel possible in Green Lantern number 35, he did that before he got the equation. Because you have to go through the wall to get the life equation. He got it from the source, so this is just all wrong. He also never had to. Well, I mean, I guess I could be semantic here, saying he didn't reclaim it. Like he just kept Highfather from locking him out from it, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, I don't understand. What is why did we bring up Necron? We did a whole Necron scaling chain here and never tied into why that's important to Kyle.
Because Necron's the strongest lantern.
He's not even a fucking lantern, bro. That doesn't even make sense. Like I don't know what you want from me, bro. This just doesn't make any sense.
Alright, boys. Unfortunately, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, you do,
Hey, it's
bro. It's always
yeah.
good, man.
Yeah, of course. You'll take it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Later. Shadow says both sides are going to argue and no real headway is made. Nothing of value is lost. I mean, if reason and logic doesn't move you, then you are lost, bro. Like, that sucks to suck, but that is what it is. Like, welcome to the real world, man. You can't win everyone. But yeah, this. They have so many scans, but their ability to organize like their thoughts and their arguments is so unfortunate. Or like the weird downplay is so silly to me. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I don't know. If you want to downplay, bro, I guess that's a good way to do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Damn.
But it is what it is. It looks like a lot of effort was put into all of the things that we looked at today, despite me disagreeing with them heavily. So, thanks to everyone who was involved for creating the wonderful things we came across today. Even though I did go pretty hard on some of the conclusions that we managed to find. Do you know what I'm thinking? We join good old Zeusarino here. I think we do call it a night.
Wait. Hold on. Before we call it a night, Lumos, it's done. Here, I want you to show this on stream. Here you go.
What you got? Hit me with it. Show me.
Here you go, man. Here, I'm gonna put this. I'll add you to it.
What's he got? What's Jobber got for us last minute, boys?
Last minute.
Yo.
Yeah, show that stream, bro.
Yo.
Some awesome stuff.
Why is it trying to get me to save, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah, and I can even give you the transparent ones. Here, I'll do that real quick.
I'm just gonna pull him. I just moved over so we can see this action.
Oh, okay.
And she was trolling me, so I said, you know what, screw it. That's why I got multiple monitors for a reason. Yeah, we got some new artwork action. Yeah, we got Meadows. Yeah, we got Jobber. Yo, we got Lumos. Let's go. Lumos going hard over here. Animated Lumos. Yo, we have my ex. Who is this?
Oh, that's a Pursuit, anti-monetization. It's a good old Pursuit.
I see that in the face. Yeah, I see the anti-monetization face and on there. Yeah, that is indeed tragic.
Yeah,
this is new lore, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, art by carbonated gem. I'll just put that in the. I'll even put the link in the chat real quick for y'all.
Hell,
so y'all can see it.
Go check out carbonated gem. They go hard.
Let me put the link. Yeah, it's some awesome stuff. Here, I'll put this in. I think I should be able to send links, right? Let's see. Yep, I can send links.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think I made you a manager at Issue at some point in time. But yo, I tell you what, we got a few minutes. Let's just answer some chat, man. Let's see what the people got to say. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what you guys have, because we covered a lot today. It's been like 2 hours of me talking about a little bit of everything. But let's see if we can hit up any of your guys' statements down low.
Here's with the best of the best.
Aiden J says his fight against the anti-spiral takes place more than 8 billion years, according to the wiki, because of the rate of evolution. It takes minutes in our reality experience for Simon. I mean, that's cool. That's a lot of experience doing nada. The DC cosmology number. Oh, go ahead.
Well, like, cause I think wait a minute. That's one of the other arguments here for experience. Like, well, it's like, well, wait a minute. So basically, wait, that's weird. Actually, wait, what? Why would you even equate that? It's like, so basically, the anti-spiral fight that we see in the anime, right? Like in that higher dimension, that happens in like 26 minutes, but for like. Apparently, I guess outside, like it happens in like it happens for 1 million years or something. Like that 20-minute fight, like I guess or something. I don't know. That's really weird to use. That's like what? What? Hold on. That's fishy. Who brought this up? Brought this up in chat. That's fishy, bro. That's some fishy shit. You're like the 26-minute fight that we saw. It was actually like 8 million years in like real time. Like, well. That's what they did in 8 million years was that 26-minute fight That's how long it took. Huh? I don't know. That's
Time just
crazy.
moves differently in between both of those creations. I'm assuming,
I suppose.
or both of those
Yeah.
timelines. Like, I mean,
Yeah, but like
even if I grant that,
what?
like, okay, so he has a lot of experience fighting that dude. I'll grant him credit on that. Like, I'm cool with that. But like, do I say Kyle fought Parallax Hal Jordan for 10 billion years? Whenever he tanked the Big Bang and was thrown forward all the way to the modern day?
It's so, yeah, like that's a really weird argument.
That fight for him was just a few minutes, but I mean, to everyone else, all of 10 billion years took place. So is that 10 billion years worth of experience to him?
Like, what the?
Is that like an equatable like response to that? Because I'm not familiar enough.
I think it's pretty equatable. I'm like, what is this? Like, that's a really weird argument for giving Simo an experience. Like, with the multiversal, like all of the multiverse Simons, right? Infinite ones, like him absorbing all the experience. That makes sense. Okay, sure, I could see that. But like, for like that 26-minute fight, oh, that was actually 8,000 years. Like, that's how long it was. I'm like, well, what? Okay. That I see what he. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this 26-minute fight. This 26-minute fight is like 8 million years, whatever. Okay, we've seen what he did. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense for him to take experience over fucking Kyle. Wait, what? Huh? He just took a really long time fighting one guy, but we see what he did during that like fight.
I mean, Kyle exited the concept of time, so technically he spent a timeless amount of time outside of time. So does that grant him more experience?
Like, it's like, yeah, like what you said earlier, like it's really odd. I'm actually, huh? What the?
Like, it's just, I don't know. It just seems like a weird argument, but who knows?
Yeah, it's really weird. That actually caught me off guard. I was like, wait, yeah, I remember people were, that's weird.
As Sonic5607 says, he's a master at fighting the anti-spiral, but like, sometimes experience doesn't help you fight a foe when the foe is just infinitely stronger than you. Like, you can devise every strategy known to man, but if they're just gonna one tap you, like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Can Kyle just shoot away the probability missiles? Yes, he should be vastly faster, but even if you assume that they just automatically land, Kyle's existed in places where all of time was destroyed, including every single existence throughout all of the time stream, and Kyle lived. So like, I don't know if that would do much to Kyle anyway. And if Kyle really does feel threatened, he can just go into the source and write into the source that never happened, or that Simone doesn't exist anymore. Like, imagine if you just had to create a source wall and you could fly inside of it, and you pretty much had an infinite amount of wishes on a set of Dragon Balls that you had inside of there. That's what the life equation is. Or that's not what the life equation is. That's what like Kyle's source hacks are. Like, they're that crazy.
Nope.
Would I say that this fight is like Wally West versus Archie Sonic, but for like lanterns? Probably. Though I think I'd have to give that to Ben versus Hal. That's far more toxic. Like, the people we discussed today are like clearly deluded, but like, yo, the Ben crowd is 1,000,000,000% louder and dumber.
I kind of feel bad for the Benson famous because like, just man, y'all really think Ben can beat Hal Jordan? That's some crazy stuff. I kind of feel bad for y'all. Like,
to be fair, he's with his current meta, he's doing better than like Simone would, but like, yeah, like, it's an ass kicking, man. Like, I don't know what to tell people.
Yeah, it's something right there.
You can count 11, you can count 20, you can count 26, but for however many statements you have of that, I have 10 to 15, all saying infinite, countless, or endless. So, good luck keeping up, buddy.
It's like, good luck. You're gonna need it.
Yes, they are indeed going to need it. I think that's why it's so fucking crazy to me that people people really look at something that's infinite in nature and then look at like a number and just think, but look, mine is countable. Yours isn't countable, so it doesn't squeal. It doesn't. Oh fuck, dude. Infinity is just such a difficult concept for people to grasp. It gives me actual cancer.
It's infinite, man. Like that's like something I just realized. Like, why is it that? Wait a minute. At least on Defo, like I don't know why, but like so it's easy to grasp that a character has infinite speed. Okay, so everyone's like, yes, I get you. But why is everyone lost when like, okay, this universe is infinite? Whoa, you went too far there. Well, it is. Why? Wait, don't please. We don't need calculator. It's infinite. That's it. Let's move on. Right? I don't know why. It's kind of strange to me. Like if someone presented me the option of either if there's many infinite statements, it's pretty solid that the universe is infinite, and you give me the calculation around like how big is the universe, I would 10 times out of 10 I would just say the universe is infinite. It's easier to understand. Like it's an infinite universe. I don't know. Maybe it's me yapping, but that's my take.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Sounds like the big memes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. What I had to say on stream. Pretty big dubs.
Yo, man, hit me with another. This is Common Rider versus Kyle Rayner. Yo, my boy Majin, big shout outs to him, dude. He'd be a big fan of this battle. I unfortunately am vaguely familiar with Common Rider scaling. I have yet to hear anything in the verse scales to like the stuff that Kyle's doing, even as a Green Lantern. So even if he has some like spicy stuff that that I'm unaware of, I feel pretty confident he ain't making it happen, man. Common Rider's cool. He just ain't that guy. The tragedy, man. After today, do you see why Death Battle calculated the size of both Goku and Superman's universes? I think it's been made pretty clear that some of their audiences just wouldn't accept that. That's also dumb, though. Like imagine trying to intentionally lowball a verse to make a battle close. Like that's the most biased thing you could ever do. Like even if it wasn't to my benefit, I would be mad about that still.
I think I'm not sure if I go biased, but I think a contradiction is saying like the audience when the audience when accepted is like, well, the audience accepts infinite speed characters on the show. Like that's what was done numerous times. Like I think all the time at this point, we're like, bro, character has like incalculable and infinite speeds, right? The audience accepts that, but as soon as you say infinite, like let's say this character's universe is infinite, then we have a problem. Like what? This is the same measurement. Like wait, where did it? I don't. Like, can someone explain in detail, like, what is the difference between someone accepting that a character has infinite speed versus someone accepting that, like a character's universe or like is infinite, or they have like let's say infinite power, what, or something like that. Like, what's the infinite difference between the two? I don't understand it. Like genuinely,
I think that they're just appealing to the most common denominator. And unfortunately, the common denominator right now is people still trying to grasp concepts like infinite. Like, people really do feel like that is, like, the best you can get. And whenever you're talking about incredibly dense concepts like power scaling, you kind of have to unlock your mind of everything we understand in physics and the real world. Because in fictions, you can do more than that. So to limit things to that just seems really silly to me. To make any limitations to a verse that isn't applied by the same rules that we have does feel really silly. Unless you're placing those limitations based on like things that they've established.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Weird. Well, boys, I think that's it after the wonderful day I've had. So we had like a 2-hour stream or so. So hopefully you guys at home are all enjoying. We had quite a large group of people chilling. So I appreciate everyone for coming and hanging out. Consider liking and subscribing if you guys are here to both myself and good old Jobber Godot over here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Got anything you want to say on the way out, my friend?
Just yeah, this is a very productive, awesome stream. I don't know what like, let's say read Green Lantern, especially Kyle Rayner. I don't know, watch some Girl Lagann, drink some water, and don't subscribe to Real Fiction Universal Arguments. And that's pretty much it.
And yo, for Caleb, who says the updated G1 blog's coming out soon, yeah, we know. I think we said at the beginning that Saturday we believe it's coming out. We'll wind up touching up on that down the way. But that being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your night, okay? Don't work too hard out there, and we'll catch you next time, Lanterns. Later.